Jai Hind friends. Today we are going to start our next topic of this module, which is Lagrange method of multipliers. The method was given by great mathematician Joseph Louis Lagrange. The method is used to find the local maxima and minima of a function subject to equality constraints. That is, in this method, we will be given a function which is to be extremized satisfying certain equality constraint. That is, we are going to perform constraint optimization under this Lagrange method of multipliers. Let us first understand what we are doing in constraint optimization. Suppose z equal to fxy be a function which is to be maximized or minimized. We have done maximization of or minimization of such functions in previous lectures also, but this time we will be imposed some additional condition on variables xy or xy and z, which is to be satisfied for this function to be extremized. Let the condition which is to be satisfied be phi xy is equal to 0, that is, the variables x and y are connected by this relation where phi is some function. Now, this z equal to fxy represents a surface in space. We are already aware that any equation in terms of x and y, if I write it in the form z equal to fxy, then it gives a surface in space. The equation phi xy equal to 0 represents a curve in xy plane. Now, if we consider both of these equations z equal to fxy and phi xy equal to 0 collectively, then we get a curve on given surface, because z equal to fxy is entire surface, phi xy equal to 0 is a curve in xy plane. So, z equal to fxy when intersected with this phi xy equal to 0 will give a curve which lies completely on this surface z equal to fxy, and we want to find extreme values of this function which lie on this curve. We shall understand it with the help of geometry. This is our surface z equal to fxy, something like this. This graph shown here is the graph of the surface z equal to fxy. This phi xy equal to 0 is a curve in xy plane, because it may be x square plus y square equal to 4 or x plus y minus 7 equal to 0 or any other equation, but this equation phi xy is equal to 0 when we consider on xy plane gives a curve in xy plane. Now, this curve is shadow of this curve which lies completely on given surface z equal to fxy. We want to extremize this function z over this curve. Thus, if we are given this surface and we are having a cylinder, right cylinder, not circular necessarily, the intersection of these two is this curve shown here in blue color in original picture. So, under constraint maximization or minimization, we are trying to find extreme value of this function z which lying over this surface on this curve. Clearly, on this curve, this point gives the local maximum of the function, because at this point the z value is maximum. Similarly, at this point the function f is having minimum value, so this will give local minimum. Thus, what is the geometrical meaning of constraint optimization I have just explained. Now, we move towards working procedure. What will be the procedure to find extreme values of this function f given with condition phi xy equal to 0. The example in figure which we have taken was related with two independent variables x and y, but the procedure can be generalized to any number of independent variables. What is the procedure? Let me now explain. Let f x y z be a function of three variables x, y and z. Let the variables be connected by the relation phi x y z equal to 0. F is given function and the variables x, y and z are connected through this relation phi x y z equal to 0. What we will do? We will construct following equations which I shall show in next slide, and those equations will be called Lagrange equations. What are those equations? The equations are del f over del x plus lambda del phi over del x equal to 0, del f over del y plus lambda del phi over del y equal to 0, del f over del z plus lambda del phi over del z equal to 0. Because f and phi occurring in these equations are functions of x, y and z. Therefore, in general, del f over del x, del f over del y, del f over del z, del phi over del x, del phi over del y, del phi over del z will also be functions of x, y and z. And therefore, these equations will involve x, y and z, and lambda is also written here. So, these equations are equations in terms of x, y, z and lambda. Along with these equations, I have constraint phi x, y, z equal to 0, which is also a relation in x, y and z. Thus, three equations written here along with phi x, y, z equal to 0 forms a system of four equations with four unknowns. These equations can be solved at least theoretically to give x, y and z. The values of x, y and z satisfying all of these four equations are stationary points of this function f. Now, what is drawback of this method? The drawback of method is that we cannot determine the nature of extreme points. Lagrange method gives only stationary points. The nature of a stationary point cannot be determined by this method. That is, when we shall find the values of x, y or x, y and z, we will get point. But whether the function has a minimum or a maximum at that point, we are not able to determine through this method, and we need to go for other considerations to decide the nature of that point in terms of maxima or minima. Thus, what is Lagrange method exactly? What is the procedure? A function f will be given whose extreme values are to be calculated. Along with the function, we are given some constraint which is termed as phi x, y, z equal to 0. In practical problems, the function which is to be extremized, that is maximized or minimized, will be treated as function f. We will always be given a condition which states that some quantity is constant, some quantity is given or fixed. That condition will give us the value of phi. Now, f and phi will be obtained. With the help of these f and phi, we shall write Lagrange equations, and solving those Lagrange equations for x, y and z, we shall get a stationary point for the given function f satisfying given condition phi. Now we take example to understand the working procedure of Lagrange multiplier method. Example says divide 24 into 3 parts such that the product of the first part with square of the second and cube of the third part is maximum. We are given a number 24 and we want to find 3 numbers whose sum is 24 because we are to divide 24 into 3 parts. And what is the requirement with parts? The requirement is the product of first part with square of second part and cube of the third part is maximum. Suppose x, y and z be the required parts. Then what is mentioned? These x, y, z are the parts of 24. It means the sum of x, y and z must be equal to number, and therefore x plus y plus z must be equal to 24. We can write it as x plus y plus z minus 24 equal to 0. Now I observe the quantity which is to be extremized, that is maximized or minimized. The quantity to be maximized is first part, the product of the first part with square of the second and cube of the third. First part is x, second part is y, third part is z. Square of first part will be square of second part will be y square, cube of third part will be z cube. This quantity x y square z cube is to be maximized. So I will assume this quantity to be f. The quantity which is to be extremized, that is maximized or minimized, will always be taken as f, and other quantity which is constant, given or fixed will be taken as phi, or will help us to construct phi. Because the product of first part with the square of the second and cube of the third part is to be maximum, therefore f will be x times y square times z cube. The quantity which is fixed, x plus y plus z minus 24, will be written as phi. In all the problems occurring before us related to Lagrange multiplier method, the quantity which is to be extremized, which is maximized or minimized, will always be taken as f, and the quantity which is given constant or fixed, that will be used to construct phi. And same thing is done here, because I want to maximize the product of first part with the square of second and cube of the third. Therefore this quantity x y square z cube was taken as f. Because sum of the numbers was 24, so this quantity x plus y plus z is fixed, so it is taken to construct phi. I have transformed this 24 to left hand side to ensure phi x y z equal to 0. Phi x y z equal to 0, this form. But if I take this quantity x plus y plus z only as phi, then it will make no difference. Now f and phi are obtained. Now we shall construct Lagrange equations, and solving those equations for x, y and z, we will get stationary points for this function f. Lagrange equations are del f over del x plus lambda del phi over del x equal to 0, del f over del y plus lambda del phi over del y equal to 0, del f over del z plus lambda del phi over del z equals to 0. Now this was Rf x y square z cube, and this was R phi x plus y plus z minus 24. I will calculate partial derivatives del f over del x, del f over del y, del f over del z from this f, and del phi over del x, del phi over del y, del phi over del z from this phi. Above equations give substituting partial derivatives. Del f over del x from this equation will be y square z cube. Del phi over del x from this equation will be simply 1. So, the first equation takes the form y square z cube plus lambda equal to 0. Second equation is del f over del y plus lambda del phi over del y. When this f will be differentiated partially with respect to y, I shall obtain 2y from y square. So, it will become twice xyz cube. Del phi over del y will again become 1. So, it will be 2xyz cube plus lambda equal to 0. Third equation from here will be del f over del z, that is 3xy square z square plus lambda equal to 0. Now, I got 3 equations 1, 2, 3 in terms of x, y, z and lambda from here. Fourth equation is that one which was used to construct phi. These 4 equations will now be solved to find the values of x, y and z, and those values of x, y and z will give us the required parts of the number. These are our equations. Now, to find x, y and z from Lagrange equations or the simplified equations, there is no fixed rule how to find x, y and z, because these equations involve nonlinear terms in general. So, tricky approach will be used, and that approach will vary from problem to problem. In this problem, I have applied a trick. I multiply this equation 2 by x, equation 3 by y and equation 4 by z. This equation is multiplied by x, second equation is multiplied by y, and third equation is being multiplied by z, and we are adding all of these resulting equations. By doing so, what will happen? This term will be x times y square z cube. This term will be twice x y square z cube, and this term will be thrice x square y square z cube. Here x lambda plus y lambda plus z lambda will occur. Adding all these equations, what will happen? This is x y square z, this is z cube, this is again twice x y square z cube, this is thrice x y square z cube. Adding all, I will simply get 6 x y square z cube. Here lambda, lambda, lambda common from each term, it will give lambda times x plus y plus z equal to 0. Now, the value of x plus y plus z was 24. So, I can replace this x plus y plus z by 24, and in this manner I get this relation. This equation gives lambda equals to minus 1 by 4 x y square z cube. I calculated the value of lambda in terms of x, y and z by doing this process. Now, I shall substitute this lambda in these equations one by one. Substituting lambda equal to this in 2, when we will substitute lambda equal to minus 1 by 4 x y square z cube in 2, we will obtain y square z cube from here, lambda from here, and y square z cube minus 1 by 4 x y square z cube equal to 0. This gives y square z cube equal to 1 by 4 y square z cube. Now, this y square z cube can be assumed to be non-zero, because we are to maximize this quantity x y square z cube. If any of this x, y or z becomes 0, then this product will be 0, and undoubtedly this value 0 is not maximum, because some other combinations which are having positive values of x and y will give larger f than 0, and therefore we can cancel out these two terms y square z cube. In this manner I obtain x equal to 4. Now I repeat the same process with equation 3, substituting this value lambda in equation 3, we will get twice x y z cube minus 1 by 4 x y square z cube equal to 0. Simplifying, I obtain 2x y z cube equals 1 by 4 x y square z cube. Again, using same argument, x, y and z can be assumed to be non-negative, in fact non-zero I should say. This x will cancel out, this z cube will cancel out, and 1 power of y will cancel out from this y, and in this manner we shall obtain y equal to 8. Now x is calculated, y is also calculated. The relation among x, y and z is x plus y plus z equal to 24. So substituting x equal to 4 and y equal to 8 in this relation, we obtain 4 plus 8 plus z minus 24 equal to 0, and it gives the value of z equal to 12. Thus the value of x is 4, the value of y is 8, and value of z is 12, which are required parts of the number. Now we will apply argument that the value of f is maximum for these value of x, y and z. Here x plus y plus z is given to be 24. Our f was x y square z cube. If we permit x or y or z to be negative, if I permit x or z to be negative, y will make no difference. If I permit x or z to be negative, then the value of f will be negative. It means by choosing x sufficiently large in negative direction, this condition will be still satisfied taking y and z large enough in positive sense. Then the value of f can be made arbitrarily small, arbitrarily small, that is large negative value will be taken by f by choosing suitably x, y and z, and therefore the values of x, y and z obtained here are not the values of minimum, but they will give the maximum values of f, and which was our basic requirement in the problem. Thus what is done? We were given that the sum of 3 numbers is 24. Find the numbers if this product x y square z cube is maximum. First of all, the quantity which is given fixed or constant will be used to construct phi. The quantity which is to be extremized will be used to construct f. Then we shall write Lagrange equations. Substituting f phi in those Lagrange equations, we obtained the equations in terms of x, y and z, including lambda also. Solving those equations for x, y and z, I obtained the stationary point, and then applying the argument I said that these values of x, y and z will give maximum of f, because f can't be minimum. Now we move towards next example. Next example says a rectangular box which is open at the top has a capacity of 256 cubic feet. Determine the dimensions of the box such that least material is required for the construction of box. We are to construct a box which is open at the top. the capacity, that is internal volume of the box, is 256 cubic feet, and we are to determine dimensions of the box so that the material required in construction of the box is least. The box will look something like this, because the box is open at the top and therefore it is open from top, and there are remaining 5 faces, and this open box is to be constructed. For this, let us assume that x, y and z be the length, breadth and height of the box. Thus, this is length, which is x, this is breadth, which is y, and this is height, which is z. Because the volume of box is given to be 256 cubic feet, we know that volume of a cuboid is L into B into H. So, volume will be x into y into z, and this is to be 256. So, I can write xyz equal to 256. From here, we can write it as xyz minus 256 equal to 0, and the quantity xyz is fixed to be 256, and therefore, it will be used to construct phi. So, I have written phi xyz equal to xyz minus 256. Our phi is calculated. Now, we will identify what is f, and f will be obtained from the quantity which is to be extremized or maximized or minimized. Here, we are to construct a box in which least material is required. When box is open, then the material is used is constructing its walls, and constructing walls means surface area, and therefore, we want to minimize the surface area of the box. Let S be the surface area of the box. Now, the surface area of a cuboid which is closed is 2 times LB plus BH plus HL. When I am working with open box, then the area of this top is to be subtracted from this formula. The area of this top will be L into B, and therefore, the formula used for surface area of open box will be LB plus 2 BH plus 2 HL. This formula will be used to find the surface area of the box, and so the surface area will be xy plus 2yz plus 2zx. This surface area S is to be minimized, and therefore, I shall assume this quantity to be f. Our phi was xyz minus 256. Now, f and phi are calculated. Now, we can process as usual. What is done till here? We were to construct an open box whose capacity is given and surface area is to be minimum. I assumed the dimensions for the box to be x, y and z because capacity was given. So, the quantity which is to be constant, fixed or given will be phi x, y, z, and the volume x, y, z was used to construct phi. The surface area was to be minimum. Therefore, I calculated the surface area of the box, and the surface area came out to be this much, and this quantity was taken as f. Now, f and phi are calculated. We shall apply Lagrange method to find extreme values of x, y and z. Lagrange equations are del f over del x plus lambda del phi over del x equal to 0, del f over del y plus lambda del phi over del y equal to 0, del f over del z plus lambda del phi over del z equal to 0. These are our f and phi. Partial derivatives required here will be calculated from these f and phi. Del f over del x from this equation will be y plus 2z written here. Del phi over del x calculated from here will be simply yz. So, this equation gives y plus 2z plus lambda yz equal to 0. Similarly, del f over del y will be x plus 2z written here. Del phi over del y will be x into z. So, second equation takes this form, and similarly del f over del z plus lambda del phi over del z gives third equation. Now, these three equations are with us. Fourth equation is this phi equal to 0, that is x y z equal to 256. We shall now find the values of x, y and z with the help of these equations. These are our equations. We are going to apply same trick which we have used in previous example. We shall multiply first equation by x, second equation by y, third equation by z. Multiplying first equation by x, I obtain xy plus 2xz plus lambda xyz equal to 0. This will give xy plus 2xz plus 256 lambda equal to 0. This xyz is 256 and therefore it is replaced by 256 here, and it means the value of xy plus 2xyz can be written as minus 256 lambda. Now, from third equation, I shall multiply it by y. I will obtain xy plus 2yz plus lambda xyz equal to 0. It will give xy plus 2yz plus 256 lambda equal to 0, because this xyz is 256. From here, I calculated xy plus 2yz equals to minus 256 lambda. Again, from fourth, I multiply this equation by z. I get 2yz plus 2xz plus lambda times xyz equal to 0. This xyz will again be replaced by 256 and it will give us 2yz plus 2zx equal to minus 256 lambda. In this manner, the values of minus 256 lambda is calculated thrice in the form of these left hand side. From one equation, I calculated minus 256 lambda as xy plus 2xz. From second equation, I calculated it as xy plus 2yz, and from third, I calculated it as 2yz plus 2zx. Now, these values will be equated. Equating values from 5 and 6, I get xy plus 2xz is equal to xy plus 2yz. These xy will cancel out. This 2xz and 2yz, here 2 can be cancelled out. Now, this z is height of the box to be constructed, and therefore z will be non-zero, and therefore this z can also be cancelled out, and it will give x equal to y. Similarly, from 6 and 7, we get xy plus 2yz equal to 2yz plus 2xz. These 2yz will cancel out. This xy and 2xz will give y equal to 2z, because x is length of the box and length cannot be 0, and therefore we can cancel it, and so it will give y equal to 2z. Now, the relation among x, y and z which was used to construct phi was x, y, z equal to 256. Substituting the values of x and z calculated in previous slide, I get this relation y into y by 2 equal to 256. This gives y cube equal to 512 and it gives y equal to 8. From this y, the value of x will also be 8 because y was equal to x. The z will be 4 because z was y by 2. Thus, the dimensions of the box, that is length, breadth and height of the box, are 8, 8 and 4 feet respectively. Now, we shall decide or we shall apply the argument to justify that these values of x, y and z give us least surface area. We have seen that these values of x, y and z are stationary point for this function. Our volume V is x, y, z, which is 256 and the surface area is to be minimized. We see that here if we take z sufficiently small satisfying this condition, then x and y can be made infinitely large, because if I reduce the height of the box, then to ensure a sufficient volume we need to increase its dimension. If we take this z approaching 0, then this x and y will approach to infinity to ensure this quantity remains fixed. It means the surface area of the box can be increased up to infinity, that is can be increased indefinitely, satisfying this condition. So, the points obtained here 8, 8, 8 which are giving our length, breadth and height of the box cannot be the point of maxima of the function, and therefore they will be point of local minimum, and thus these dimensions x, y and z, that is 4, 8, 8 and 4 are required length, breadth and height of the box, which are required to construct the box having least material. Thus, in this lecture we have discussed what is Lagrange multiplier method, what is its limitation. Then we took some examples to understand the procedure of this method. We have seen the quantity which is to be maximized or minimized is used to construct f. The quantity which is given constant or fixed is used to construct phi. We have also seen the geometry of this method, through which we understood the idea of constraint optimization. We are going to stop now. In coming lectures we will continue with more topics of this module. Thank you.